party, hang out with my friends, or go to a family gathering, it's the same scene. Every toddler, child, and teenager on some sort of electronic device shutting out the world around them. And yeah, I'm guilty of this, as I'm sure you all are too. Sometimes we think that our social media feed or texting a friend is somehow more important than the people around us. And today, even babies disregard technology as less fun than a game on their iPad. But how many of you remember fun as a child running around outside playing with dolls and Hot Wheels? How many of you remember the extent of technology in your life being bejeweled on your mom's flip phone? As the new generation grows, life is completely transformed into something new. A life where most kids don't know what it means to have technology. The reality is that less than 5 minutes into a conversation or game, every child wants a phone and the Wi-Fi password. But lucky to be an early part of this generation, I can still remember the times when technology wasn't so mainstream. When a child's toy looked like this, or this, or even this. And yeah, we're told every day by our parents and grandparents and every adult that we meet that smartphones and tablets are bad for us. But technology isn't what's inherently bad. We've gained so much from smartphones, whether it's texting, video calls, Google Maps, and Netflix. Imagine having to pull out a map and figure out a route just to get to your friend's house, or having to buy a DVD anytime you wanted to watch a movie. Technology is our gateway to the world. But for us teenagers and adults, we can remember the times when technology wasn't omnipresent, and we didn't rely on a smartphone or tablet in our everyday lives. But today, that's not the case anymore. Today, children grow up with technology at all times, and what's inherently bad about that is how early these kids are starting to use technology. An average baby is exposed to technology when they aren't even 18 months old. Most of us don't even have memories of that age. At 18 months old, you probably just started walking and hadn't even said a full sentence yet. That's how early these kids are starting to use technology. And it might surprise you how dangerous it is for young children to use technology. The earlier they start, the more their mental processes are warped, and their mental growth is stunted early on in life. A study was conducted to show the difference between a child being bred to versus when a child is watching a cartoon. And what they found is that when a child is being bred to, they're forced to connect visual stimuli with audio and language input. But when they're watching a cartoon, the animation does all the work for them. Quite simply, their brains don't have to think at all. Further studies show that increased television viewing at a young age actually correlates to a decrease in a delayed development of their verbal skills and a lower verbal IQ score. And this is due to the thickening of the frontal cortex of the brain, which lowers language-based reasoning ability. The frontal lobe region of the brain controls the highest order level of thinking. The frontal cortex is the frontmost part of this frontal lobe region of the brain, which means that it controls abstract and self-generated thinking concepts. So these children won't have the ability to have verbal skills, judgment skills, and the ability to have meaningful conversations with others. Without these abilities, they won't have the effective, meaningful communication skills that they need. And isolation, along with increased screen time, is one of the biggest effects of the thickening of the frontal cortex. So what we see is that this can actually lead to a decrease in focusing and an increased risk of ADHD as the child grows older. And ADHD can have severe implications on their lives if it persists into adulthood. ADHD as an adult can actually have effects on their professional life, making it harder for them to find jobs and actually increase medical costs for a family. Those are the factors that can completely transform someone's life upside down, but also something that could be prevented if technology wasn't mainstream for children. Another behavioral impact that I'm sure we all see is the lack of social skills. I'm sure you can all relate to being in a crowded area and scrolling aimlessly through your social media feed and texting a friend just so you don't have to interact with the people around you. But focus and social skills aren't the only elements that are being affected. Creativity and imagination, the defining characteristics of childhood, seem to be going away. Nowadays, children don't know how to play pretend. We all used to play dress up, play our make-believe stories on the playground, and draw pictures. But what if I told you that children today don't have those same experiences? What if I told you that those children don't know what it means to play pretend? These children, these tablets, TV shows, and mobile games, they're all filling in the picture for you. When you hand the story on a platter to the child, and they don't have to do any work, there's nothing left for them to color in. Their attention span shortens, and their ability to create disappears. What does their future look like? Does it look like this? Or this? That's for us to decide. What do we want to do to ensure that this situation doesn't deteriorate to the extremes? So yeah, technology has quite literally revolutionized our world for the better. But let's look back at our childhood, remember what we used to love, and preserve that for the next generation. Thank you.